Okay, so there you go. I got it recording.
All right, American Legion, how it failed the modern veteran. That's what you call it. Because they have failed the modern veteran.
Well, at least that post and then the other post. Remember the post in Highland Park with Mr. Rudy Schwartz, the
They don't vet their own officers.
yeah, they don't double check. So we're going to talk about that post, and then we're going to talk about the post out here in Hemet. That post back in Highland Park at the 206 it was. And I did a video on this about 3 or 4 years ago about Mr. Rudy Schwartz. He was the he was the deputy post commander is what he said. Deputy post commander.
And he said he was at Black Hawk Down, he was in this and that. I remember running into him at the fucking Wiener Schnitzel.
At the Wiener Schnitzel. He was at the Wiener Schnitzel one day. And me and the grumpy old guy, we saw this guy looking at me kind of strange. And I had to do a double take. He did a double take on me. And it was Rudy Schwartz. And that guy used to be in my company, National Guard, way back in the day. And he had all these tattoos on him, including a set of jump wings and a Ranger tab. And I was like, I know this guy. And he says, yeah, man, hey, what's going on? And I was, Rudy Schwartz. And I said, but that was not his name that I remember. It was something else. I mean, I never seen a Latino guy that was a Schwartz. I mean, I could be wrong. But anyway.
It could happen through marriage, but definitely not with that guy.
Yeah, I mean, that guy, he was as fucking taco as Nicholas is. I mean, just as Mexican as Nicholas is. And that guy, he did not have any white boy in him at all. But I joined their Legion Hall because I knew this guy was stolen Valor even back in 1992. Or actually, I ran into him in 94. That's right, 94. Because that guy allegedly disappeared for a few years. And when we did see him, he had the combat wounded license plate on a Jeep. He had a Ranger tab tattooed on his arm and a set of jump wings. He claimed he was a
photograph in his pocket. He showed me.
Well, that was when he claimed to be in Iraq and Afghanistan. You remember with the beard? All he had was beard, sunglasses, but you couldn't tell who he was.
Yeah, he made all these claims.
He made crazy claims. But what kind of gets me is why was he not checked by the post commander? I would have double checked that guy's DD-214s. And here's what's scary about it. I had to bring my own DD-214 in to be able to join the American Legion. I've joined the American Legion before, like 10 years before that. And my DD-214 should be on record. But he wanted my last one because it had my Iraq campaign medal, my expeditionary medals, all my times overseas, So I guess I assume that he took these DD-214s, made copies and cut them up, and then pasted them together, and then photoed or Xeroxed a fake DD-214.
More than likely.
Yeah, so this guy got caught, and myself and another guy says, you told the post commander, you better check this fucking guy. You better check him, and found out that he was taking money for the American Legion. He was a complete fraud. And then I move out here to Hemet. I went down and joined this nice little post. And there was this guy, Ronnie, nice guy, older guy, in the Ranger fucking Hall of Fame. Dude, and that's hard to do. He's in the Ranger Hall of Fame. Vietnam, Silver Star. Nice guy. And then there was this other guy named Marlin. We sat right across from him helping other veterans. These two guys help veterans. Marlin claimed 101st Airborne, Ranger, Silver Star, Purple Hearts, Vietnam. I said, okay. So I said, these two guys, and Nicholas knows this, says Vietnam vets, okay, and they were going to help me with my paperwork. I was going to go and submit a claim to the VA and see if he could help me out with it, with other things besides, sleep apnea or something. Just see what happens. And I'm not trying to fraud the DVA at all because I got a sleep apnea test too, but that's not the point. The point is that I found out that Marlon, who I had lunch with several times, 3 or 4 times, chilled out with him on Wednesday afternoons, that this guy, he sure liked to talk about himself all the time. This guy would talk about himself all the time. How I had all these awards from the BFW, from the BA, from the American Legion, that made him Man of the Year and all this other shit, for helping veterans. And the grumpy old guy's sitting there, and guess what happened? Oh yeah, guess what? Where's Marlon? Oh, he got kicked out of the Legion. Oh shit, what did he do? Stolen valor. Remember, folks, what?
Made up his, what I would call work history, made it up.
He claimed 101st Airborne, Ranger, CIB, Silver Star, Bronze Star, 3 tours, Vietnam. Well, apparently what happened is Ronnie, who is an actual airborne ranger because he's in the Ranger Hall of Fame. From what my guy says, Webster, who served the 173rd Airborne in Vietnam in a ranger company, Ronnie started asking Marlon some very interesting questions about his jump school, his unit, Vietnam, Ranger School. He kept avoiding the questions by either interrupting him or getting on the phone or leaving, is what I was told. So after a few months of this, it seems like Ronnie and the post commander, who is a former Marine, decided to look at his DD-214. Found it was doctored up, and then they went to the Freedom Act and got his paperwork directly. The guy was in the Army for 2 years. He went to South Korea. No Ranger School, no Airborne, not even an infantryman. He was a fucking cook in Korea. He was not an E7 like he claimed. He was an E3. So he was expelled from the American Legion Hall. Now, this is the reason why I don't join the American Legion. Like I told the grumpy old guy, Rudy Schwartz was one who's in a leadership position. This guy Marlon was in a leadership position to help veterans. That fucking clown from the 82nd Airborne from original Legion, American Legion Post 206. Oh, I was in the 82nd Airborne from 1977 to 1980. Oh, okay. Nothing wrong with that. He's got his jump leads. He jumped. Served in the 82nd. After 2 or 3 times I was there, yeah, man, I was in Grenada, and I was in Panama, and I was in Honduras. But you said you were in like 1977 to like 1980. Oh, well, I got back in. You got back in to go to Grenada, Honduras, and Panama. And then got out. and you claimed that you jumped in Panama. I said, all right, I'm out. So I let my American Legion expire until I came up and joined these guys and found out that Marlin was full of shit. So that's all I got to say in closing.
I got one thing to say to whoever administrates any Legion Hall. How hard is it to check dates from a history book or from a file? We know when Grenada went down. We know when Panama went down. We know when Lebanon went down. We know when Black Hawk Down went down. We know all of the actual dates. And when these fakers mix it all together, how hard is it just to check the dates? Why is it so hard to vet these people to find out they're factual or horseshit? Why is it so hard to clean up your own act? Keep your own house in order. How can you put the screws to the VA for fact checking when you won't even do it for yourselves?
There you go, folks. Huh?